Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to another Catch Up with Mayo. And it's a show that I try to do here with a Q&A to make sure that I can talk to people. People can ask questions, people can interact. And this is something that I try to do now every Saturday afternoon here, 4 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Eastern, somewhere in that vicinity. I'll try to do it, and I'll try to keep it to once a week. This is a show where I'm here solo. Nobody comes up with me, just me, myself, and I. And some people like that better, some don't. But I hope you'll be able to get some people who appreciate it here. And there are some people I know who can't make it when I go on live in the mornings here. And I know sometimes if I go on too late, that doesn't work either. So hopefully this works for some people. Got a lot of people already here, and I appreciate those who are waiting. Okay, let's say hello. Hello, Patrick. Good to see you. Hello, Karen. Happy Saturday afternoon to you as well. Hello, James Farley. Hello. Okay, that's funny. And Apple Pit says, "Rock and roll, Joe." I think we are all caught up by now. Actually, in fact, no, that is a fact. That's the reason I say I don't want to do this too often. I'm toying with the idea of doing this once a week only, or maybe we'll even once every 2 weeks or something. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see. Okay. Hello to Dino. Doing good. I'm doing great. Thanks a lot. Hello, Tom. Thanks for checking in. Doing well. Hope you are too. And here we are. So anyway, let it fly. Okay, anything because right now as I'm sitting here, I can hear a lot of rain out there, and I know what Wes's question is right now. It's going to be when am I going to review Secret of the Incas, the movie? Well, you'll be surprised one day it'll pop up there, and I don't mean 5 years from now. But anyway, I think that's the right Wes I get. I should know by now who's asking what questions. Yeah, so yeah, the rain is coming down. I can hear it out there. It's just really starting. Hello, George. Music for all four seasons. A big fan of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons here. Good guy, great guy, actually. Check his channel out, please, please, especially if you like Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Okay. So yeah, I've got my alien green cup ready to go, filled with water. That's all it is. It's not spiked. And I'm ready. Hello, Laura. Good to see you. You're welcome, George. You're entirely welcome. Hello, Piccolina the cat. Doing great. Thank you so much for asking. Going good. Hi, Mike. Good new record finds video. Well, I found some things anyway. Those few records that I show, and you might want to check it out if you haven't seen it, if you like vinyl. In my new vinyl finds of all kinds video, it took me a number of weeks, a month to get that stuff, enough to show. Thanks very much. Thanks very much. There's some stuff in there, nothing fantastic, but looking forward to to the review on Secret of the Incas, which is a good time to remind people. I have another channel back there, and there it is below. It's called Mayo's Movie Mayhem. So please, if you like movies, if you like television, movies and or television, please consider subscribing to that channel if you haven't already, because I have content over there as well. I'm looking to hit 2,000 subscribers there. I'm up to 16 something, almost 1,700. So I'm doing well, and I thank you all for supporting that channel too. Okay. So, but anyway, what do you think of the newer Apes films? The newer Apes films, Planet of the Apes films, yeah, I actually like them. I like the first one, Rise. I like the second one, Dawn, is my favorite of the series. The third one, War, for the Planet of the Apes, that was my least favorite of the trilogy so far, and I'm looking forward to the brand new one that comes out in May called Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I'm looking forward to that. Hello, Lila Hale. Just asking, that video you made, Joe, about wanting more people to go to your movie channel. What's the difference between there and here when you chat about movies here also? Yeah, I know. People chat about movies here also. That's true. I've talked about this one before, and I really have I don't know, a problem. with trying to decide what to do about that. I've said this before. There are times when I think I'll just take movie content and I'll put it right here instead of having two channels. That could work for me or it could work against me. Some people may say, hey, this is great, more variety, more content. And other people may say, yeah, the hell with this. I don't care. He's doing too much movie stuff for me. I'm going to unsubscribe. So I don't really know, but I still may rethink all this. But you say, what's the difference? Yeah, we chat about movies here mainly because this is the bigger channel. I could just do a live stream over there. And by the way, I do live streams over at my movie channel too. Every Wednesday night, we do a movie talk. So if you like movies and TV, you want to hear all movie talk, all television talk, go over to my other channel, Mayo's Movie Mayhem, and look for the Wednesday evening live streams that I do over there. Okay. Um, I saw an interesting Beatles Instagram post. Jack White from the White Stripes gets Beatles songs right after 1 second on each song. I could do that. I could do that. I could do that too. Hello, McGraw. I like to sleep in on Saturdays. I missed the show this morning. That's okay. Usually, I don't like to do a morning show on Saturday. If I'm going to be doing this afternoon show, sometimes, as you know, I will do two live streams in a day sometimes because I love them. But it's probably not a good idea. And I'm still toying with the idea of cutting out a lot of the morning live streams. Toying with the idea. Can I cook? Not really. I can't cook. What is your favorite meal that you cook? The only thing the only thing I make is pasta. Boil water and throw the pasta in. But I know how to cook it just right, so it's not too soft and not too hard. That's no big deal. That's not a big thing. And I like the tuna salad that I make. I put onions in it. Put Some people put celery. I put onions in tuna salad, and I also put in relish, a little bit of relish, and mix it all together. So, hello, Matchstick Man. Hello, John Moreno. Did you like Days of Thunder? I did not see Days of Thunder. I cook like a five-star chef. Food is an art. Fact. Yeah, it is. And I realize that I could always learn to cook. I just don't really care to. I don't want to really enough. But if I did, I really think that I'd be able to do that well because I think I have a flair for creativity and things like that. And I think maybe I could bring that flair of creativity to cooking as well. So that's what I think. Yes, thank you very much, Patrick. Please hit the like button. If you're so inclined, I really appreciate that. You know, thank you so much. That always helps me, as I've said a million times. Danny said Secret of the Incas sounds stupid. I wonder what his rationale on that was. I love Danny, but Danny sometimes, he's like Ed Norton. I love you, Danny. What's my favorite action movie? Oh, what's an action? I mean, how many? What's a Jaws could be considered an action movie. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid could be considered an action movie. Oh, I'm sure I have the answer to this if I could, but I can't think of all the movies right now that I love. I don't know. Is Taking of Pelham 123 the original an action movie? What vinyl do you put in protective covers, and why would you not bother putting some in covers? No, I try to put the protective covers on everything and anything vinyl. Anything. I try to do that. I try to put the plastic outer sleeves on everything. The new Planet of the Apes films were definitely action. There you go. I heard Helter Skelter on Sirius this morning. Not one I usually put in rotation when listening to Beatles. What an amazing song. Was that Paul's answer, Revolution 9, I wonder? Well, Paul always said that the reason he did Helter Skelter was because he heard a report at the time that the Who, the group The Who, had done what they were calling the most crazy, raucous, most powerful, insane track we ever did, dirtiest, raunchiest song ever. And he didn't really know what that song was, but he decided, well, I'm going to top that. and that's why he wrote Helter Skelter. So that's the story of Helter Skelter. What song on the car radio stopped you from getting out of the vehicle till it's finished? Well, that happens from time to time with a lot of songs. It's not just one song. Any of my favorite songs or a song that I'm really in the mood for at the time, I may stop and wait, to hear the whole thing. So there's not any one song, you know. The irony is the only track it could have been for that time was "I Can See for Miles." I remember that song "I Can See for Miles" was indeed mentioned. I've heard that before. People saying that "I Can See for Miles" is the song that probably Paul was thinking of. But as you say, it wasn't even that hard either. Yeah. Joe, do you enjoy British films and TV programs? Yeah, sure. I enjoy British films. I haven't seen many TV programs, but I do enjoy British films. Mhm. Well, yeah, Paul's competitive, but at least we got some good stuff like Helter Skelter as a result. Do you have a favorite Beatles movie, theirs or later date made? I don't know if you mean like Hard Day's Night or Help, something like that. Yes, that's true. They offered the part of 007 to Cary Grant first. I could understand Cary Grant, but I figured by that time he was getting a little too old, I think, or at least he looked old. Anyway, I will never turn off a Beatles song until it is finished. Sacrilegious. Well, sometimes I'll turn off. There have been times where I'll be in the car and I'll start hearing, like, I don't know, I'll hear "Hey Jude," and then I'll turn the channel. It's happened because I'm just not in the mood for it. Other times, if I'm in the mood, I'll leave Hey Jude on and I'll listen to it and love every single na 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 na. But I get like tired of it. What's your answer to vinyl jumping? Do you try to fix it if possible, or do you send it back? Vinyl jumping? What do you mean if the needle jumps or well, if that happened, I would try to get another better copy. That's for sure. All right, so my favorite Beatle movie is, I like Hard Day's Night and Help pretty equally. It depends which one I'm in the mood for at the time, but I always give Help a little extra hair of a nod. The reason I do that is because everybody always raves about a Hard Day's Night. I like to give some love to Help, but can't wait until Paul does a rap album. Not. Well, 1989, there was an MTV clip of Paul, and he was asked, "Would you ever do rap?" And he said no. And then I remember he went into like this rap, you know, impromptu rap thing. He went, "Well, my name is Paul, and I'm telling you all," something like that. "I got more dough than you're ever gonna sell." And he goes, forget it, never." And he said no, which was good to me. So would you say the Beatles makes good driving music? Some songs are good driving music, I suppose. Some are not. Beatles make good music for everything: driving, sitting, lying down, standing up, walking. I guess so. So, oops, I almost knocked the cup over. I don't want that to happen. Joe, it's rainy outside, but it's my neighbor's parrot's birthday, and she would love to sing along with you to Winter Rose Love Awake, please. I'm sorry, Richard, not today, although I have sung that before. I think you've named that one before. Ever bought anything on an impulse and wondered why the hell you bought it? Absolutely. Plenty of times in life. Um, I don't have any specific examples. It's happened quite a bit in life. Mm. So, Okay, folks, what's the good word here today? I say, what's the good word when there's nothing else to say, usually. So, the lyrics of Paperback Writer can be sung in a rap, actually. I think almost anything can, right? Or am I wrong about that? I don't know. To your knowledge, has anyone offered a rational explanation for what possessed John to release the two Virgins covers? John never gave any explanation that made any sense. I think he made a damn good explanation. He said that they both met and they were in love and they felt like two virgins. Even though because it was a new relationship and they felt. He said that we felt like two virgins and decided to take that photo to show it. We met, we're in love, we want to share it, and that's what he said. Now, as I say, was it a good idea? No, it probably wasn't in retrospect, but I think it's pretty cool as a collector's piece. It's a different, certainly different, and controversial. Are you going to get the Mega Beatles set? What's the Mega Beatles set? I don't know what this is. Which one are we referring to? Finally got to see The Lost Weekend. It's like a comic strip film, but I found it such a happy but sad movie. Was John and May totally manipulated? Trying to think what you're asking exactly there, Lila. Was John and May totally manipulated? I don't know. Okay, Paperback Writer in particular has the rhythm of a rap type lyric. Fact. Sorry for the stupid question, but is it possible to respond to an individual in the chat? Yeah, if you want to respond to somebody else, you can do that. You just gotta I don't know exactly how you get their name, but you just say to somebody, put their name and then a dash, if that's what you mean. Uh, oh, were John and May totally manipulated by Yoko? That's a strong word. I don't know. I've said before that Yoko was the one who suggested or actually ordered May Pang to go out with John, and I think even though it's kind of weird, it's kind of unethical. It's something unorthodox to set your husband up with some secretary or somebody who works for you. It made sense because, after all, John was going to go out and screw around with every woman in the world that he could find, and at least Yoko knew that with May Pang, she could keep an eye on him, and they could the two of them just keep it focused on May and not everybody else, but rather than him running around. So that's as much as I can think. Okay. All right, folks, what's going on? I think Ringo's new country island is going to be an excellent cause. Ringo always loved country. That should be an album. The album. What do people do? Talk into this? He talk into it, and it picks up the wrong words. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good thing. Everybody's wanted Ringo to do a country album again for a long time, and now he's doing something. So that's good. Was May Pang on Yoko's payroll when May was with John? I I'm guessing maybe so. Did you see the Oscars for the worst movies? What new Oscars? I've seen a lot of Golden Turkey Awards and things for many older movies that supposedly stink, but I don't know about a new thing. Hello, Penny Lane. You're in my ears and in my eyes. Sometimes autocorrect just gets too aggressive and then changes it to the wrong word. I know, and I'll tell you, it's a pain in the butt. Would anybody like to see me make a rant video against autocorrect and against the microphones when you try to talk into a microphone and the words are wrong? Ugh, that is frustrating. Definitely. How do I turn that off? Well, people in the comments could help you out, maybe. I don't know. I don't know about that one. I kind of think Two Virgins was a reset button for John, a chance to be John Lennon, not just John Lennon the Beatle. I think you're right there. I think that makes sense. Do you have TV channels in the US where a film can be on for over 3 hours because of all the ad breaks? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, but you have those, a movie that's only an hour and a half can go 3 hours. It's too many commercials. Some commercials I understand, but too many in between movies. A movie, I always feel as a movie fan, no movie really benefits from a lot of interruptions. You know, you don't want to have movies interrupted. So, do you think rechargeable batteries is a great invention, and do you use them? The only rechargeable battery I use is for my phone. I think. Well, actually, no. I got a flashlight that has a rechargeable battery, and there are probably a few other things too. Are you going to get the Mind Games EP? Yes, I am. It's funny, I stopped into my local record store today, and I was talking about Record Store Day with a guy that always buys. He's a guy that buys tons of records on Record Store Day. He buys like 50 albums, and he says, "Are you going to get the John Lennon EP?" And I said, "Yes." And he goes, "Why?" I said, "Why?" I said, "Because I'm a John Lennon fan." He goes, "Yeah, but it's going to be the same old thing." I said, "No, it's not. There's going to be like four different songs, outtakes, demos of songs from Mind Games that we haven't heard. But whatever. Good. I hope he doesn't get it because I don't need somebody else taking possibly my copy. So that's okay. I use speech to text, and sometimes it doesn't write the right words exactly. Why isn't the song "Rain" on any of the Beatle albums? Well, it could be found on an album called "Hey Jude." They put it on "Hey Jude" in 1970. However, it was a B-side to the song "Paperback Writer." Back then they put out singles, and they just wanted to have an A-side and then a cool B-side, and it was a B-side for a long time. Yes, I do have the Two Virgins LP. My stepmother's best friend has an original copy of it. She doesn't have kids, so she says she's leaving it to me. Okay. Whoops. What are your thoughts on the Body Snatcher with Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi? I think it's Boris's greatest performance. I agree with you, Sal, 3,000%. I think Boris Karloff could have won an Oscar for that performance in The Body Snatcher, not to be confused with Invasion of the Body Snatchers. If you look at my movie channel, of course, is yeah, I'll do it again here for you. Right below the Mayo's movie Mayhem. I did a video. You have to search for it because it's an older video just on that movie alone. I love the movie. It's one of my all-time favorite horror movies, one of my all-time favorite Boris Karloff movies, and I definitely think everything you say is true here. So I agree with you. I think it's cool that Sean is involved on John's EP too, as far as production. Sean has been more and more prominent. He had a lot to do with Gimme Some Truth, the compilation album that came out. And when I spoke with him through messages, he thanked me for giving an honest opinion, for doing a review where I said what I liked about it and also what I didn't like about it. He liked that I didn't just shill and just say everything was perfect. That I was listening with my ears to what I liked or didn't like. But yeah, I think Sean is going to be getting involved more and more on John's work. If a book comes out that you really want, it comes shrink wrapped. Do you buy another to open and one remain shrink wrapped like albums? No, I don't usually do that. I think I'm only once that I can remember. I think I did that maybe with the Get Back, Big Giant Get Back book because, well, with the Get Back book, the Get Back thing, there were a lot of three maybe, if as I recall, different versions of it. So, hello, Tom. What's going on? Which Beatles song would you say has the best three-part harmonies? Mine is Sun King. Oh, well, Sun King is really good. Because is another one. This boy, you know. When you change the name of your movie channel, do the videos with the old channel name still remain under the newer banner? No. When you change a name like that, a channel name or something, everything changes. That I love that about this technology with it. If you change it, everything changes. Why won't Sean and Julian record a song together? Ridiculous, because John would have had the three of them as a group. Fact. I don't think John would have had the three of them as a group. That is not a fact. That is, again, your opinion. It's insane in that case. But I don't know why they don't record a song together, or have they? Have they worked together? I don't know about that. Oh. There is nothing better than the 5-beat hi-hat and Paul's breath intro on All My Loving. I got to tell you, I know what you mean. You can find an extra hi-hat introduction. It's found in different places, but there's an album called The Beatles Greatest from Germany, and it also was available in other countries too, called The Beatles Greatest. And you do hear at the beginning it goes, close your while take an intake of breath, and you hear the five the hi-hat beats. It's very interesting as something different, as an alternative version, but I prefer it just the way it is, just starting with the singing. I like it just to start with singing. Not sure if Nowhere Man is three-part, but I do love the harmonies in that. Absolutely, I do too. I remember watching The Passion of the Christ, and that is a tough watch. Yes, it is. It's very, very gruesome. Julian said they were talking about it for a long time now, he and Sean. Well, that's good. I think it would be a fantastic idea, the two of them together. I thank you, everybody who's here right now. Please consider helping out and hitting the thumbs up like button because that helps a lot. Thank you all. Just want to mention that from time to time. My impulse Beatles regret was the one variant McCartney 3 received that I didn't want. Oh, I see what you mean. What do you mean? You for the newest one, you went with the McCartney 3, you ordered one and you got one of the three variants at random that you didn't like? What historical film, Joe, would you say is essential viewing for education purposes and also a great film? Ooh-wee. Educational purposes. Oh, you got me. Your questions are too good sometimes. Um, I'm not much on historical films. I like biblical films, which are historical sort of, but I don't think you'll get a lot out of it. If I name Ben Hur, I don't think that's kind of a made up story. That one, it's not a real story. Hello, Robert P. And he picks A Hard Day's Night as his movie. I don't understand why everyone doesn't hit the thumbs up. Just curious, considering it helps. And I don't mean to offend anyone whatsoever. Well, I have a reason why I don't like doing it sometimes. Well, I don't know. I think it's only the case with videos. I think we talked about this. I don't like hitting thumbs up with videos because if you hit thumbs up with videos, it goes into your collection of videos that you like, and you have a huge collection. I don't think that happens here, though. Well, and of course, people who are watching right now, some of them are stalkers and trolls that don't want to help the channel at all, and I understand that. I don't need you. Um, I noticed the likes do not go up unless you refresh the page. Do you see that on your end, Joe? No, I mean the likes that well, the likes. I don't see anything in regard to likes. I don't see likes here at all. That's why people have to inform me sometime. What year did you first attend Beatle Fest? Mine was 81 in New Jersey, and I bought some of the best Beatle records in my collection at that show. Me too. My first Beatle Fest was the same one, New Jersey in 1981, in March. Then later in September of 81, there was another one in New York City, and I went to that one as well. Yeah, I don't have Lila. I don't have one. I can't think of a historical one right now. I mean, the Ten Commandments. Yeah, I thought of that, but I have problems with the Ten Commandments movie. Um, but I definitely think it's worth watching. I think these days it's a little corny in places. It's the way it's written. You know, it's kind of like tongue in cheek some of the dialogue and stuff. Um, that's Cecil B. DeMille for you, I guess. You know, so Gone with the Wind and Tora 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 come to mind. Michael Nolan says 1917 was good. Yeah, I'm not big on historical movies. I'm just not. I mean, just not. History I never liked in school. You know. My first Beatle Fest was Chicago in 1986, and last year New Jersey. Was it your first time in New Jersey? It's probably going to be, if everything goes smoothly, this August I should be in Chicago for my first Chicago Beatle Fest. If everything goes. Watching early Beatles live performances on YouTube, it's funny to see Paul and George sing "She Loves You." George steps back when he's not singing. Paul swings around back and forth. Then George steps up. Yeah, I like that little bit of fancy footwork with both of them. That little orderly fashion they have with that. Yes, a good Easter film is Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Yeah, well, that was all right when I was a child, but that's one that I don't watch now. History of the World Part One. It's a funny movie. It's a funny movie. I really like Apollo 13 for historical purposes, but as a movie itself, maybe not so much, honestly. There you go again, bringing up the money. Well, forget about the money. You, Robert P. Forget it. Money, money, money. Forget about it. About 8 tolls and money for parking. Otherwise, you will like it. It costs money to do things. There's no two ways about it. You got that prepper princess. Prepper princess can go for her walks and enjoy. I don't need money. I can go around and I can play with my dog and I can play frisbee with my dog and I can hike and I can walk and I can do this and I can do that. And sometimes on my walk, I find old dish towels and I find sandals that I've worn myself in the trash as I walk. And I find all kinds of things. It's just like an Easter egg hunt. I found a pillow on my walk the other day. If that's your idea of fun, fine, prepper princess. But don't ruin it for everybody else. Meanwhile, you're sitting there, prepper princess, with $1 million or more by your own admission, and you're sitting there and you don't want to spend any money for entertainment. Give me a break. Ugh. Grease is also a good Easter film. I have it because I don't spend it. But then what's the point of having it? What's the? I was glad you said. By the way, Robert, I'm not just. I don't mean you specifically because you're very generous with your money and helping others out. You always have said many times you get more joy out of spending on others than yourself. At least that's spending it. The thing is, yeah, well, people say that all the time. People say I have money because I don't spend it. And okay, you have money, then to what? I don't mean you personally. Robert's the catalyst. He brought this up. I'm talking about other people in general, like Prepper Princess. I'm like, okay, so Prepper Princess doesn't spend a dime. She tries to get by on $20 a month, $30 a month, and I got all this money. I'm a self-made millionaire. For what? To what end? For what? I don't understand that. I don't understand it. I just don't, and I never will. The greatest story ever told. Oh my God, that is a boring film. It is a boring film, Joe, in my opinion. Very boring. There's better films about the life of Christ than that one, I believe. So I have never seen Excalibur. No, I'm just not just seeing you like writing about King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Just not my subject. I'm not interested. Exactly. Where has that pillow been that she found on that walk? Are you attending all 3 days at the Beetle Fest in Chicago? Well, that's the plan right now. I have my hotel room, but and uh my plane tickets and everything. But of course, I could be like Prepper Princess. I could just give it up and I could just go for a walk, or I could go climb a mountain and I could have fun. Maybe get a dog and play frisbee, just me and the dog. No kids, no partner, no nothing. Whatever. If she's happy, good for her. I have to say that because I watch those videos from time to time and I just shake my head because she's so arrogant about how everybody else spends their money, and they shouldn't. They should be saving. Shouldn't be spending. She's so opinionated and arrogant that I'm giving my own arrogant opinions back. That's all. That's all I'm doing. That's fantastic. I think that's a great thing on your case. Spend it on the grandkids. This woman I'm talking about doesn't have any kids, doesn't have any grandkids, and as far as I know, doesn't have a partner either or anything. But whatever. Um, was the Beatles Fest 2024 a success? I'm not the Beatle Fest. I'm not the people who run it. I'm not the Lapidus family. I don't know. From my perspective, it was a success. It was really a lot of fun, and everybody who went there had a great time. So to me, it was a success. What's your thought on someone sending you a custom-made card but has a photo of their family or kids on the front? It's a nice thing. It's a nice thing. I've gotten those before. I videotaped Donovan at Beetlefest when you were there. Maybe I met you. Yeah, maybe. I recorded him too. I did not like the movie Titanic, not at all, because to me, those leads, Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio, they seemed to me like '90s youths. They didn't strike me as being from 1912 or 14, 1914, whatever year it was. Didn't strike me at all as being then. But I mean, there was some things. I thought the ending was the actual like sinking of the Titanic was handled very dramatically. The sinking itself was. Uh, hey, I see what I mean. Robert P., thank you so much. I said this before, and I'll say it again. I said it. This man is very generous, and I respect. He loves sharing money with other people, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Robert P. I'm go get a drink on me. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That'll buy me a lot of bottles, a lot of gallons of water. Is what I usually do. Uh, the Bible. I've never seen the Bible. I know the Yeah, I know the movie you mean, but I've never seen it. King Kong versus Godzilla or Godzilla versus Monster Zero. Which one? Well, for me, I prefer King Kong versus Godzilla. That's my all-time favorite Godzilla movie. I like Godzilla versus Monster Zero as well. Are you a big zombies fan and zombie movies? I like some zombie movies, but I really feel like the zombie genre has been, you know, overdone into the ground, and I think it's time to stop them. I think they've run its course. My most hated movie. Oh God, I should have an answer for this again. You see what I mean? It's very hard, and if anybody who does this will know what I mean. A lot of times, you really can't just pluck it out, admit it when you need it. I'm sure. I'm trying to think of the word hated. There was a movie. I don't know if it's my most hated, but I went to the movie theater and there was this movie called Wired, which was supposed to be the life story of John Belushi. It was so bad, I walked out on it. I only walked out on a couple of movies I could remember. I think I can't remember, but I hated that movie Wired, and that's one that comes to mind. But there's probably worse than that. Have not seen the Aviator. If you grew your hair and a beard, which Beatle would you most look like? Well, you tell me that. And just don't say Ringo. But Ringo's all right with long hair. I don't know, folks. You can tell me that. I don't know. King Kong versus Godzilla, definitely. Are you interested in the Big Bang and how we got here? I think the Big Bang is a load of bullshit, is what I think. Okay. I don't believe in the Big Bang. Yeah. So there was a Big Bang, and all of a sudden everything worked perfectly. We have a heart that beats and pumps the blood. We have teeth to chew our food. We have eyes in the front to see, ears to hear with. Everything is intelligent design. This is just my opinion. I think it's a fact, but common sense will tell you, yeah, big everything makes sense. There's a sun positioned up there to shed light on the world and give a permanent light bulb for the whole world. That's always there, and planets that just can. Oops, planets that can just spin. I got to take this call, folks. I'm sorry. Okay, folks, that's no big deal. It's no big deal. But that's how I feel about it. I don't understand how people can't look at the world and just see all the amazing things in it and realize that it had to be thought out. There's thought behind this. Now people are going to say, well, what about hurricanes? What about natural disasters? What about all those I don't know. You'll have to talk to him when you meet him. I don't know what the thoughts were behind that. But to me, it just seems obvious to me. There was just a bang and everything just situated itself. That's like saying, you walk into your house and you want to decorate your house and you just go bam like that and everything just gets organized. These bookcases get built and the movies get organized on the shelves alphabetically. Come on. Come on. Um, Bob Dylan played "Roll Over Beethoven" for the first time live in concert on Thursday night. Okay, very good, very good. It's a mad, 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 mad world is the greatest comedy film of all time. Changed my mind. It's not to me. It's not the greatest comedy film of all time, but it is very good, and it is one of my favorites. And by the way, Sal, like I said, please subscribe to my movie channel if you haven't, because we do a lot of movie talk. We'd like to see you there if you can make it on Wednesday nights live. Ishtar, I've heard is a bad movie. I've never seen it before. Uh, what if "Let There Be Light" was the Big Bang? Well, then there's a Big Bang. If that's the case, I don't know. Is Godzilla a goodie or a baddie? The answer to that is both, depending on what series we're in. Godzilla started out as a bad guy, and then they discovered, and I think rightly so, that there's only so much you can do with a bad guy. How much can you do with a Godzilla movie where Godzilla's running around town, destroying Tokyo, stomping on everything, and decimating everything? There's not much you can do with that, you know? Um, so as time went on, they made him like a good guy and a protector of Tokyo and children and stuff, and he helped out. And they had other monsters. They'd have other monsters come in and be the villain, and he'd fight these other monsters. Made it much more exciting. Now, in the new movie, the newest one that's out called Godzilla Minus One, that's a great movie. Back to Godzilla being evil monster, scary monster again, but it gets tired. I think if you do that every time, it gets boring. You a fan of BTO? I saw them last night in concert with cousin Elliot. The show was legendary. Well, I'll put my card up for this. This is my standard answer. Well, in this case, I like too. I like taking care of business, and I love my favorite song by them is "You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet," and I think that's all I know by them, and I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that. You know, I always thought that Ringo should redo "Ringo," the Lawn Green song. Okay. Favorite comedy acts, top three. Laurel and Hardy, The Three Stooges, and Abbott and Costello. You would resemble Paul McCartney, Mr. Mayo, either longer hair and beard. Thank you. Thank you. I think so. I think so too. I want to get some other opinions, but you know. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Have you seen the Chosen series about Jesus yet? No, I have not. Hello, Cherry Carter. Good to see you here. Hello, Danny, the King of Chaos. Good to see you here. Airplane has a million funny one-liners that keep coming nonstop. Yeah, Airplane's a good comedy, definitely. You got me with this one. You got me with this one. Now I have a moment to just take some water here, and I'm going to do that. Oops. Okay. Having a good time with this chat. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody who's in the comments. Thank you, everybody watching. I'm having a good time here. Did you find your little bass? Oh my God, I can't find. Oh, I found it. I don't know if anybody knows, but people ask me, "Do you play a musical instrument?" And I tell them I play a little bass. And there it is, right there. Play a little bass, and I found it. There you go. Um, hit that like button, please. Hit that like button. Do you have Beatles Monopoly? No, I do not have Beatles Monopoly. I have regular Monopoly, the regular one, but not the Beatles Monopoly. Okay. By the way, I did a poll. You might have seen the poll. Go over and vote if you haven't already in the community tab. The poll was: do you like me doing a lot of live streams, or do you think you should cut down on the live streams a bit? I got news for you. It's about there was over 200 people who voted so far, and it's almost. I think I got 50. The last time I looked, it was 57% said no. I like the live streams. Do as many as you want. I love them. The more the merrier. But 57% is a little too close to 50-50 to me. So anyway, we'll take it, play it by ear. I do think there's something to be said. I know I feel it with channels that I watch where it's a special treat sometimes when you don't see the host all the time and then once a month they come on or once every 6 months. Well, I can't because I love the live streams. I love the live streams. There's no way I'm going to wait that long, maybe once a week. But there's something about it that maybe if you don't overdo it. I don't know. I'll see how I feel about it. Still got to see how I feel about it. Um, uh, Stig, Dirk, Barry, or Nasty. Well, I like Ron Nasty in the movie. Did you pick up any recent Beatles items, records, magazines? Well, somebody gave me a really cool magazine. It's like a scrapbook slash magazine that I haven't shown yet, but that's only one Beatles item. So I'll have to wait for more Beatles items before I show it, or I could just make a video just showing the one magazine, which is pretty interesting in itself. I may not have to wait. More to the point, can you cut down? Oh yeah, yeah. How about the Beatles version of Trivial Pursuit? Well, I've never seen the point in that because I don't have any real Beatle fanatic friends to play it with. If a bunch of Beatles friends got together and played Trivial Pursuit, that would be good. But where can we vote on Joe's poll? It's in the community, under community, I think. You gotta go main page and look where it says community. I think that's how you find it. Okay, there you go. Admit it, Joe. The channel is like your record collection. It's addictive. Oh yes, my channel is very addictive. But are you talking about the channel being addictive, or are you talking about the live streams being addictive? They may both be. Hello, Darren Gamble. No singing tonight. You never know when you're going to get me. Um, I don't know who that is offhand, unless I see him. The answer to this question is no. Do I own an early UK top loader pressing of the White Album? I don't think I have a few copies of the White Album. Offhand, I don't know if any of them are top loading. I hate to say, I don't know. Let's play Trivial Pursuit, Beatles Trivial Pursuit here. Could be an awesome set of streams. I think you might have something there. Favorite Barbara Stanwyck movie? If I tell you, I haven't seen a lot of Barbara Stanwyck movies, so the one I'm gonna tell you is gonna make you roll your eyes, and that would have to be Roustabout, the Elvis movie Roustabout. She's in that. But there's probably other ones too. I just haven't seen a lot of Barbara Stanwyck movies. I'm ashamed to say. Uh, Just do the Truman Show. Go live 24 hours a day. They stole my idea. When I was a little kid, I used to walk around doing everything, going to the store, the candy store, buying bubble gum, mailing a letter from my mom. And I used to say, imagine if there was a show like all day long just about me. Narcissism? I don't know, think so. But anyway, I used to think about that, you know. And I used to say, like, you're on camera all day and everything. And there you go. So they stole my idea. How about a shemp poke? I kind of like saving that. I don't really like doing. All right, I'll do it, but I don't really like doing it and a serious stream like this, but I'll do it for you by request. You ready? There you go. I saw a bit of clam bake yesterday. Seems they show it regular. Actually, I don't think that clam bake is the worst Elvis movie. People like, laugh at it because of the silly title. But there's movies that are more boring or not as fun, and some of the songs aren't as good as clam bake. So there you go. Main character syndrome. The trivia at the fest is amazing to see. Thanks for posting those trivia videos, Joe. Been having some health issues lately, but I really hope to make a fest sometime soon. Well, Laura, I wish you well. Hope you get better. And if you ever do, please do me a favor and make sure you say hello and give me a fist bump.
This is for We have a fist. That's it, a fist bump. That's what I like. I'm gonna take a bunch.
Okay, so there you go. All right, folks. The call that I got a phone call in the middle of this. That was actually my girlfriend telling me she's getting out of work early, and can I pick her up a little earlier? And that's not a problem because I was only going to do this stream for 90 minutes anyway, so I'm still able to do it for 90 minutes. So it didn't mean anything. I didn't have to share that with you. There was no reason to. It's not going to cut the stream any shorter. I just wanted to looking for something to talk about in between. Uh, Do you listen to Breakfast with the Beatles on Sunday? Your favorite? I do not like the Breakfast with the Beatles show with Ken Dashow because I don't I like Ken Dashow as a host. I think he's a good host. I just think he plays too much of the same old tired Beatles songs, and he doesn't play enough. At that hour now on Sunday, Ken Michaels has something opposite him on a WFDU. Ken Michaels' show is called Every Little Thing, and it's called Every Little Thing for a reason. He doesn't play the same old tired Beatles songs. Um, he plays a lot of solo tracks, a lot of deep cuts. It's much more interesting. No comment on this. I don't know what to say there. Huh? Start with Ball of Fire for Barbara Stanwyck. I really need to see more Barbara Stanwyck movies, definitely. The Hat Guy giving the jazz critique. The Hat Guy, he's a Hat Guy, is the funniest thing ever. I want that to be my ringtone. You mean this guy?
Go for it. Who put this on? It's just a random selection of notes in no particular order. For fuck's sake.
There you go. That's that guy. I don't know if that's what you meant, but that's one of my favorites as well. I think you're right about this. I think you're right. Okay, Laura says absolutely will do as far as saying hello and saying hi and giving a fist bump at the fest someday. Did you see Larry's Rolling Stone top 100 Beatles solo songs? Ridiculous. I know that the top 100 solo songs were listed by Rob Sheffield. I saw what number I saw the top 20 and I saw the last few. I didn't see the whole 100. But you know, I may comment on that another time, possibly. Do you own the Beatles Remco dolls? I have John, I have Paul, and I have Ringo. I don't have George. I wasn't able to find George, but I have the other three. I'll hope to get George. That's the kind of things I'm trying to do more of. I'm trying to collect more memorabilia and less records. That's just me. Um, If you have a salad, what part of it do you never eat and take it off? Great question. I love your questions. I really do. It's so different. Um, but cucumbers or radishes. If there's cucumbers and radishes, I'm not fond of. What do you think of those who think the Three Stooges is a source of violence? Well, these days it's not really a thing anymore. These days the world is so screwed up that nobody thinks anything of the Three Stooges anymore. When I was younger, there was a big thing going around. The Three Stooges were violent. Keep them off TV. Don't cut them up. Keep them off TV. Don't show certain things. Cut them to ribbons. Cut out all the eye pokes and things. I could understand that. I could understand the idea that maybe the Stooges are not the best thing for kids to see because they'd go to school and poke their friends in the eyes or hit them over the head with a hammer or something like that. But having said that, everything is so messed up today. The Three Stooges are like Mickey Mouse, compared to the crap that goes on in the world today, in the malls and the schools and everything. Sadly, what is the frequency? How come I forgot it? 89, 89.1, 89.1. I think it is FM, but it's very hard to get it in. It's very hard to catch the dial. So try it out. The only one people that enjoy jazz are the ones playing it. That's for sure. Hello, Starman. Great weather today, right? No, it sucks. You know that. You know that. EC Comics, DC or Marvel Comics. I'm EC, followed by DC all the way. Well, I have to disagree with you there, Sal. I'm a Marvel man. Make mine Marvel. I, you know, I appreciate EC Comics because of the horror content, right? And DC, I like the characters of Superman and Batman. But the comic books themselves, I always thought the DC comics were too juvenile. The Marvel comics dealt with real life characters with real life problems, and I liked them much better. I got all the Remco dolls about 10 years ago. George was the last one I needed too. I need the instruments though. Only have Paul's guitar. Yeah, I have John's guitar and I have Paul's guitar. Ringo does not have the drums. So there you go. Um, what's this all about? Oh, he's talking to Lila. I'm sorry. Seeing that you love classic old movies, would it not bother you if TV had to go back to black and white? Well, I wouldn't. I wouldn't want black and white for things that are in color. The same as I don't want to see black and white things in color. I want color to stay color. Let's put it this way: I would want A Hard Day's Night to stay in black and white, and I'd want Help to stay in color. Well, see if you can pick up the show. It's on Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. FDU. Can you think of a funny joke on the spot now to tell us? I could, but a lot of them are not really things that we're allowed to say, I think. I don't know. Why did the mayonnaise say? Since I'm Mr. Mayonnaise, what did the what did the mayonnaise say when somebody opened the door? The answer is close the door. I'm dressing. There you go. That's a bad one, but there you go. Reminds me of Elvis talking about nursery rhymes being a bad influence or the Beatles being a bad influence. Joe, do you foresee yourself collecting comics again? No, because of the simple reason that it's too late in life. It just is. I'm realizing that about a lot of things. That's why I'm selling a lot of records. I'm realizing it. It's time to face it. I've lived most of my years already, and although I hope to live a long time to come, it's still lesser years ahead of me than behind me, and there's just not a lot of time. However, I thought for a while I was going to get into comics. I actually, over the summertime, I went out. My favorite character is the Incredible Hulk, so I went out and I bought She-Hulk. you know, and I bought like a few She-Hulk comic books. You know what I mean? And and then I thought, why am I doing this? I can't. I can't go down that rabbit hole. Plus, the thing is, new comic books, just like everything else, suck. Okay? New comic books stink. They're terrible. I don't like anything about them. The way they're drawn, the way they're written, they have all these variant covers that you got to collect now. I like the old stuff from the 60s and the 70s, and maybe even the 80s. 60s, 70s, and 80s comics are my time. But having said that, I'll end this by saying There may be a few choice issues I may buy. I may want to buy a few choice issues that I grew up with that I no longer have just for the cover or something. Maybe there'd be like 5 or 10 primo issues I want to have. Just got back from my local store. Actually picked up a 2 LP bootleg, The Beatles Conquer America. Yeah, I have that. The Ed Sullivan Show. Yeah, yeah. Mad Magazine collection. I got rid of all of those a long time ago. I do like no, I don't. Not all of them. Same, but that's a good example. Mad Magazine. I have a few. Like I have one that has Planet of the Apes. They spoof the Planet of the Apes movies. I collect. That's a special issue. I have another one. I think has the Beatles on the cover. Mad Magazine. And I think I have another one. The one where you see the Frankenstein monster. Frankenstein monster is putting together a model. It's about spoofing the monster models. Only it's Frankenstein building a model of the guy from Mad, Alfred E. Newman. Don't you vote 1,000 times? I don't want any fake votes in there. Do you like going on long trips out of state? No, I do not. I do not. I'm not much of a traveler. I don't really like it. Uh, okay, here's a comment. Yeah, yeah, it's a terrible. She-Hulk was really good when it first started, but I found out that this one isn't. The only problem I have with the Hulk is when he gets angry, he loses all his clothes but his trousers. Yeah, you got to try to imagine that for some reason the trousers just they get super strong or tolerant. I don't know. Flintstones all the way. I have no use for Top Cat. Did you ever order anything at the back of the comic books? When I was younger, I'm sure I did. Some of those things. Yeah, Mad Magazine, the folding back page was always fun. I agree. I'm going to have to agree with you on modern comics versus older comics. I tried to collect modern comics, but they ultimately disappointed me and drained me of money that could have gone to CDs. There you go. Whatever works for you. And to think that as recently as last summer, I went back into the comic stores and was looking on the shelf, and I was almost going to collect a few. I'm like, no, you were horrible, horrible. I miss Sam Goody's and Crazy Eddie's for the records. Yeah, me too. And more than those two stores, Tower Records. Tower is the one I miss the most. When you first sold your previous record collection, have you replaced pretty much the past record collection, or are you still missing a few items? I pretty much replaced it all and was happy. Now, people say, well, if you sell your record collection again, Joe, you know you're going to buy everything again. Wrong. And I'll tell you why. Simply, I don't have the cash. You know, when I replaced everything the second time, I was working full time and I had a full time job. Now I'm retired. I'm on a very fixed income, and aside from what I get from, I haven't gotten Social Security yet. I expect Social Security, and I have a pension. Between that and if anybody wants to help out here, when people help and give a little tip here, but aside from that, that's it. So I'm not going to be able to just say, "Oh, I'll buy this again for $20. This for 25. This is 30. This is 10. This is 15." I can't do that anymore. Uh, Danny says a lot of stupid things, and here's one of the stupidest comments. Danny, I love you, but you could be a real dummy sometimes. He says, "Joe, you're too old for comics. You're never too old to have that inner child." And as I said, when it comes to the comics from Marvel, the Marvel comics are a lot of adult themes in there, and they deal with problems that people have to deal with, like alcoholism, or in the case of Spider-Man, Gwen Stacy's murder. This is like serious stuff. So again, even though I don't really have any cause to use the clips, Danny is always somebody that can aggravate the hell out of you, even when he's not here. So here's a special case where I have to use a clip for you, Danny. Okay. Hope you felt that one, babe. Too old for comics. Yeah, I never really liked Spy versus Spy. I know. I didn't like the way it was drawn. I don't know. Would love to know what stereo gear you listen to records on. The turntable is a Techniques turntable. The amp is an Onkyo amp, and the speakers, I have them here, but I can't see what the names of them are. From here. Yes, I always thought Sam Goody's was the most expensive record store. I don't know what it was about that. They never seemed to have a lot of sales. They always were the most expensive. I remember that even as a kid. Glenn says I miss CDs at Best Buy. Me too. And Best Buy had I used to have a good movie section too. They suck. Best Buy has become Worst Buy. Okay, don't call them Best Buy. Call them Worst Buy. Definitely. Do you have lots of Beatles pin badges? I have enough. I don't usually buy them anymore unless there's something special, a good, an original advertisement. I mean, I don't have it in front of me, but I bought the Ringo Starr one. What did I do with it now? I don't want to, I don't want to, let me see if I can find it. Gotta reach back here a little bit. Come on, is this it? Is this it? Yes, it is. I bought this just, when did I buy it? Last month at the Fest for Beatles fans. I bought this because it's an original ad for the Goodnight Vienna album. See, I like vintage. I like advertisements, vintage stuff. Like you could see, like I'm at over here. You got Ringo with the Sun Country wine cooler ad. Over here, you got the ad for the Beatles love songs, the ad for the Beatles rarities. You've got on the top here, you got John Lennon, Yoko Ono, just like starting over single. George Harrison, Cloud Nine, somewhere in England. I like advertisements like this. So to just buy a stupid one that just says to be a picture of the Beatles on it, no, not interested in that anymore. Um, and there you go. The All in the Family Mad magazine that has the floppy of Hitler visiting Archie. Interesting. I don't remember that one. Do you think you could do a whole show with Danny without using the clips? That would be a challenge. That would be a real challenge. I don't think so. Will you ever sit back and watch all three volumes of Get Back again? I certainly will. Not for a while. I've already seen them all at least four times. I've watched all three at least four times. Um, I'm not in any mood anytime soon to watch them all, but I will. What is your take on hypnosis? Does it work? Well, I'm not really qualified to know. I believe it works. I believe hypnosis can work, but I don't have any experience with it. What sport do you detest? Golf, NFL, hockey, motor racing? I detest football. I find it boring, and I tried to watch a little bit. I just find it dull. I find people they say baseball's dull. I don't think it is. Everybody's different though. Do you enjoy albums or 45s, or do you like both? I know you enjoy picture sleeves. I enjoy both, but you know what? These days, for collectors' purposes, I'm starting to like the idea of collecting 45s. I like 45s. I like it once in a while when I am listening to a turntable. I like the idea of sitting there and just popping one song on, listening to it, taking or put another song on. I like that. And I really love the picture sleeves. I like 45s, and EPs. Do you remember the record store Disco Mat in the late 70s? Yeah, I kind of do, but I don't think I had one. I think they were in the city. I don't remember any of those stores around where I live, but in the city I thought they had them. Back in the day, Best Buy had a real good selection of CDs and DVDs at good prices. Yes, I think so. Any Grail records of Beatles memorabilia you haven't got? Oh, this first of all, memorabilia wise, there are tons of pieces of memorabilia I don't have and never will have, and that's okay. Everybody has something different. Might have some stuff that another collector doesn't have, and they may have stuff I don't have. But there's always a lot of more fun stuff to buy, and that's where most of my money. I want to put most of my Beatle money to that now. But what I always keep saying every time this is asked, the Beatle record that I want, that's the grail, is I want a copy of the Beatles and Frank Ifield on stage. But there's two covers. I want the cover when you see the four Beatles with their collarless gray suits. Um, that's what I want the most. My first Beatles album was Help. I bought it the day I saw Help on TV because it was raining out and couldn't ride my bike. Bought it at Woolworths. I love memories like that. Do you collect newsprint ads or magazine ads? I used to. I used to, not so much anymore. I mean, you used to do streams all the time with Danny with no clips. It's possible. Yeah, it was possible, but that was back in the days before he started getting under my skin. At first, but we would love to know what stereo gear you listen to your records on. I said that already, didn't I respond to that? I did. What's my favorite photo of the Beatles? That's impossible. There's a lot of photos, but the one, the love songs gatefold is one of them. Definitely. I got rid of Danny's comment that Oasis rules. I got rid of it. I don't want to dirty the comment section out. Uh, yeah, those HMV 12 by 12 box sets with the Beatles CD booklet, the big pin with artwork. Yes. 45s and picture sleeves are fun to collect. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly, man. If you had to, would you bungee jump or do a skydive? Oh, wow. I think I'd rather do a skydive. Oh, I definitely think so. Oh, without a doubt. But as I say, until he steps over the line, I'm all right with it. I've given people lots of chances before, lots of chances. Some of them I give it a dozen chances. Um, would you pay good money for a Lennon used Band-Aid? No, I wouldn't. First of all, it's disgusting. It's the main reason is because it's disgusting, and second of all, there's no guarantee it was his. But the main reason is because the idea just makes me repulsed. So the answer is no. At times, the picture sleeves can be very pricey and pics available if the band or singer is not available anywhere else. At times, the picture sleeves can be very pricey and pics available of the band or singer is not available anywhere else. Oh, yeah, you sometimes just see pictures where you don't see the shots anywhere else. Agreed. Now, I'm assuming, George, you have a really nice collection of all the Four Seasons stuff. And those picture sleeves, a lot of them are paper thin. Like, they're not glossy. They're paper, regular paper, whatever that means. I don't have a CD player in the car, unfortunately. My car that I got, doesn't have a CD player, but I have a portable round CD player that hooks into the car that I use. Do you collect the Beatles cards? Now, there's an example of something I don't have. I do not have a complete set of the original 1960s Beatle cards. No, that's something I still got to get. Do you have a favorite Beatles music video? Oh, very good question. Let me think fast. Revolution is probably one of my favorites. Revolution, Penny Lane, Strawberry Fields. Now and then. Now and then is now one of my favorite. Yeah, those come to mind. Yes, hello, Mr. Beatles Pro. Thanks for coming. Yes, exactly. There was a guy at the Beatles show that had $7,000. The Beatles and Frank Ifield portrait cover is $7,000 to $10,000. Now you know why I don't have one. But if I won the lottery, I'd get one. Hey Jude was my first Beatles album with my own money, and what a good choice that is. What's the best live Beatles is go to? You got to make it speak English so I understand you. Any original Butcher sleeve, Joe? Uh, oh no, I'm still thinking of this. This makes sense now. What's the best live Beatles go to? Is that what you're saying? My go to favorite Beatles live? There's not a lot of good Beatles live stuff as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. The Washington concert is fun to go to. The Shea Stadium concert, Paris concert from '65. Any original Butcher sleeve? I used to have a Butcher sleeve. I don't anymore. If you go to the cinema and there is two versions of the same movie showing, one version 3D, the other is just normal, which do you choose? Well, it depends what the movie is. If the movie was made in 3D and was supposed to be seen in 3D, I'd go for the 3D. If it's just a regular 2D movie that they're trying to turn into 3D, I probably wouldn't see it. But then again, I don't know. I've heard there was a 3D version of Jaws that was out that I missed in the cinema, and I heard it was very good. Hello, Elementary Penguin. Where's the Wood Goblin? Well, he went away. He's butthurt about something, and I really hope that he comes to his senses and gets over it. Life's too damn short. He's welcome back if he wants to come back. Uh, let's see. I like the help video, the song, the one at the beginning of the movie where all four are wearing black. Yes, I do like that little video too, where they're all wearing black. I like there's something that's not really a video. It's from on the scene at 6:30. They're singing Twist and Shout and they're like turtleneck black things. I love that little thing. I also love it's from the thing called the Mersey Sound, where they're wearing gray collarless suits and they're doing She Loves You. I love that as well. It's one of my that one is like that may be my all-time favorite Beatle performance clip of them doing "She Loves You" from the Mersey Sound very early with the collarless gray suits. 99 viewers. Yeah, I've gotten over 100 before, sure. Beatles in Tokyo is my favorite. I like watching that one, the Beatles in Tokyo, but the problem for me is they don't play very well. Um Yes, exactly. And the Melbourne, Australia is also a good show from '64. That's good. And Sweden, the drop in Sweden is good as well. I agree. Did you ever go to a roller skate disco? Yes, yes. When I was 18, 17, 18, around 19, I used to go to roller skating, Alice, roller skating. It's a honeymooners reference. Yes. What is your favorite sandwich filling and on what bread? Oh, I don't know. I like a lot of different sandwiches. Tuna sandwiches, Italian combos, um, chicken parmesan, veal parmesan. I can go on forever. Roast beef. I like sandwiches. They're my favorites, but we'll pass that subject up. Uh, oh, I forgot about that. Well, that's a good. Well, yes, the Hey Bulldog video is very good too. Forgot about that. The Ticket to Ride sequence and help with the musical notes is great. Yep, that's a nice little sequence with the skiing and everything. Would you be interested in a bootleg copy of the Frank Ifield LP? I could have it for you at the Chicago Fest. Sure. I mean, I'll take the bootleg. I want a real original, but I'll take the bootleg if I couldn't get any other one. My hope would be that one day I happen to go to a flea market or something, or someplace where they're having a sale and some people don't, and they sell it, and maybe they put like, I'll pay whatever, and they don't know that it's rare. That would be nice. But will the time change your schedule? No, it won't change my schedule. Not my, if you mean my live schedule, no. I also like the mini medley that they did on Around the Beatles TV special in '64. Fact. Yeah, I enjoy that. The only thing about it is it's not live. They pre-recorded it, then they lip sync to it, because there's bootlegs available of the that medley where they recorded it without the screams. You know. Uh, has Around the Beatles ever been available on video, not film? Well, I know there was a VHS tape of it around in a laser disc, if that's what you mean. I don't know. But you mean like clear video quality, not film quality. I don't know. Is it We Can Work It Out, the video where Lennon is making McCartney laugh? Yes, that he does that in that. I like how, and I should also mention, yeah, I should also mention when we're talking about favorite Beatles videos or performances or promotional films, I very much love the Hey Jude performance too. That's great. Yeah, I know the guy you mean. Yeah. They did have live vocals on Around the Beatles. I have a record that has all of the performances with that before the screams were before the screams were added into it, before there was performed. So I don't know if I agree with you on that. Hey, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but anybody know? Look that up. But I'm pretty sure that they recorded that in the studio and then they lip synced it when on the show. Unless a few of them were real, because there's shout. All of them exist that way. Shout exists like that. You could even see there's even a point when they do the song "Shout." You could see like there's a point where like they almost somebody, I don't know who it is, like maybe Ringo doesn't get the words yet. Ringo's supposed to go a little bit louder now, and he's like waiting for the cue, a little bit louder, and then he says it. He hears it and he starts singing it. Anyway, that's what I think, but I could be wrong. It's been known to happen. It's been known to happen. No, the time changes never throw me off really. The changes never really bother me. Is the May Pang movie John and May a good film? I think it's a good film. I do. I think it's a good film. Uh, Sorry to say that Danny, that Liam Gallagher has just been on TV in England 20 minutes ago, but I muted this sound because I couldn't hear Joe speaking. I like to hear that. I think that's a compliment. So give me a fist bump.
That's not a fist bump. That's what I like. That's not a fist bump. That's what I like.
So, this one is I feel fine. Somebody might have answered that. See, they answered that already. What's the point if somebody's going to answer it in the comments? I don't have to answer it. Do I like Sinatra's version of something? No, it's ridiculous because he says "Stick around, Jack." That's stupid. Um, 3 years ago, I sold a 16 mm print of Around the Beatles for $600. Fact. Good for you. Maybe a technicality, but video did not exist in common use before the very late 70s. All footage of the Beatles and even solo Beatles is shot on film. That's not 100% true, Andrea. There's a lot of Beatles footage. There's a lot of Beatles footage that's video in the 60s. And they even had it in the 50s. Are you talking about in common use, though? Uh, ba, 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 ba. Did you ever visit the Golden Disc or Bleecker Street Records back in the 80s? Yeah, I did. I went to Golden Disc a lot. I never liked Bleecker Bob's. I don't know if you're talking about Bleecker Bob's. Bleecker Bob's was a very, very, uh, you know, popular name, but I didn't like Bleecker Bob's. I really didn't care for it that much. I went to places like Revolver Records was the best one. It's only rock and roll Revolver Records and some other ones too. I think Elvis does a respectable version of something. I like Elvis's version of something. I really love the Strawberry Fields music video. It's my favorite uh, Beatles song or song of all time. I really love the piano part. Okay, very nice. Yeah, the Revolution video from '68 was videotaped. Fact. Magical Mystery Tour was shot on film, but the original masters went missing, so the current edition is taken from a lower generation video transfer. Uh, I think Nowhere Boy sucks, but I appreciate that you like it. And we're getting close to the end here, folks. I got to be going soon, so let's wrap it up. This has been an excellent, I think, live stream. I've really enjoyed it. And I was gonna go in about, I don't like the when I'm by myself, 90 minutes is sufficient, you know. So I never Studio 54 was before my time as far as being able to go and dance and stuff. Hello, Brandon. I'm glad you're here, but unfortunately I gotta go right now. So next time I hope you come in sooner. Uh I love how people imagine things. It's so funny seeing those moments where the chat is doing anything, and there you are just looking back and forth, saying, "Come on, folks. Okay, whatever you think." All right, everybody. So thank you all for being here. This has been a lot of fun. I'll do this again next Saturday. Just me, catch up with Mayo. And for those of you who don't know, and I found out today that Apple Pitts is one of these people who don't know. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ketchup with mayo is supposed to be ketchup. Get it? Like ketchup and mayonnaise? That's the idea of it. Ketchup and with mayo. I wonder how many people today, you know, Apple Pitt said, he didn't realize that. Maybe some other people. Well, thank you, Art. I really appreciate that. I got to say, Art, you deserve for sure a fist bump for that one.
This is for That's a fist bump. That's what I like.
That's good. So we're good there. All right, folks. So I really don't want to go because I'm having a lot of fun, but gotta go. So I'll see you next time doing this Saturday. Saturdays around this time could be 4 p.m. Eastern, could be 5 p.m. Eastern, something like that. I'll always tell you in advance. I'll have an advanced thumbnail up there to tell you. So thank you all. See you soon. Cheers.